I'm very excited by our next guest. I wanted to cover this story today, and it was like I felt like there was just this divine appointment where I was able to connect and talk about what's happening in Syria with the Druze. And here to help me unpack that is Mansour Ashkar. He actually is based in Israel, right on the border there. So, Mansour, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. Honored to have you. I'm so sorry for what's happening to your people. You are Druze. Now, I'll let you explain the backstory, what the current situation is on the ground. But yesterday over on the internet, I mean, all I was seeing was pictures of, Israel is bombing Syria. And so I wanted to unpack what that means. Bibi Netanyahu has made a statement. We'll get there. Please tell us about yourself and what the current situation is.
Well, thanks for having me on your show. I'm a big fan. I follow you guys quite a lot. I'm an Israeli Druze. I was a former officer in the IDF and the Special Forces and a former negotiator. And I also grew up in this land. My family, all their relatives are from Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. It's funny that you mentioned that it came to the attention of many Americans only when Israel bombed in Syria. And that shows us again how mainstream media choose what to show and what not to show, because they didn't show that for 3 days before that, there was an October 7, pretty much, that was going on the Druze community in Syria. Babies were slaughtered, elderly sheikhs had their beard shaved like in the Holocaust and then executed, an 80 years old sheikh and many others they slaughtered the whole hospital, the Jawlani people, by the way, the government of Syria, not al-Qaeda or ISIS. The government did that alongside the ISIS fighters and al-Qaeda. They were all going together to slaughter the Druze. They brought tanks, they brought artillery, Grad missile, that's Russian missiles, to attack a village, basically, in the aim to ethnically cleanse. But mainstream media did not mention that. Now, the only reason it got stopped is because Israel went and shot a rocket at Jawlani's Ministry of Defense house. We saw that video, kind of crazy video. She's sitting there talking, and then the building explodes behind. That's basically the Pentagon of Syria. So only then, and they took down many of the tanks that came to murder civilians. Only then these jihadists got scared and started running back and went back with their tails between their legs, because Israel came and told them, if you try to kill these minorities, by the way, Christians as well, they burned churches, they killed Christians. I have sources on the ground in Syria that are fighting in the front line, including ones that are at home. Usually the older brother will go to war with his gun to defend his family, and the younger one, his father will come and put a gun in his hand and tell him, son, you just became a man. You don't let them come to this house, and you don't let them take your mother or sister alive. So that's the situation. Now, I see you might want to have some questions, so please let me know so I don't just kind of run through.
No. I appreciate I mean, again, my heart goes out to your people. And, for those who don't know, Druze is a religion that a lot of people are not, in America especially, are not familiar with. It's monotheistic. Druze keep their religious beliefs secret from outsiders. There are about 150,000 Druze in Israel, which it sounds like that's your community. So making up about 10% of the Arab citizens of Israel, and about half the population of the Golan Heights, which is interesting. There's about 1 million Druze overall. It's a spin-off of Islam going back about 1,000 years. So they're an Abrahamic monotheistic religion, and they see Jesus and Muhammad as prophets. But again, this is pretty obscure for most Americans, right? And we don't have to get into all the theology of it. But you said something I think that's really important. So we see the rise of Ahmed what's his name again here? al-Šara. al-Šara. So the new leader of Syria, and we've been hearing these reports that Christians are getting targeted, and now Druze. Separate fact from fiction. Why are they doing this? Is this new leadership of Syria, are they targeting Christians and Jews out of pure ethnic cleansing? What's the motivation here?
Pure ethnic cleansing and the will to build the Muslim Ummah over Syria and later on over the world. The thing is with Ahmed al-Shara or al-Jawlani it's very interesting to me how someone with an Olympic track record of a terrorist, not just a normal terrorist, he was in al-Qaeda and ISIS at its prime, became a general, a very high official in these two, and then jumped and created his own terrorist organization. And then one day he just puts a jacket and started looking like a hipster, and people start believing that he's a good guy. Everything up until now shows that he had clear intention of killing anyone in Syria that is not Muslim, that is not Sunnah also. And he started doing that to the Christians, he started doing it to Alawites, and now he's trying to do that to the Druze. Actually, I just translated an audio message that was sent by some of the officials from his regime to the soldiers of his government in Arabic, and I put it in my Instagram with English and Hebrew subtitles, and it says this: please stop using cameras when your phones when you're going to slaughter these Druze pigs. Shave their beards, slaughter them, slit the throat, do it, burn their houses. Just don't use cameras. And listen to the next part. He said, don't do the same mistake that we did in the coast. He's referring to when they killed the Christians. Over there, we did that and that backfired. So do all these things, just don't film it. And then he adds another command to them. The IDF Air Force is coming to target us. They want to stop us from committing a genocide. So start using human shields. Start hiding among the population and hide your tanks and vehicles and Toyotas between the houses. So you're getting a very clear Hamas-style, Hezbollah-style order to commit the worst thing on the face of this planet. Just please don't film it. And they did it to the Christians. They're doing it right now to the Druze. That's the image. This sheikh is 80 years old. A peaceful man. And they're doing that, that's the army, by the way. And they're doing that with glee, with rejoicing, just like we saw in the Holocaust when they gathered the rabbis.
Mansour, can you explain what the significance of shaving the beard of a Druze person is? What does that mean, and why is it such an insult?
So the Druze religion sees himself descended from Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, the father of Zipporah, that welcomed Moses to his tribe and taught him leadership and everything. And that's why they see themselves very connected to Judaism, Christianity, by the way. That's where they see themselves originated. The Druze believe that once you become a religious man, you detach yourself from earthly pleasures, like putting jewelry, trying to take care, and they grow this beard, and they're very famous for the mustache. That's a very sign, like, of just like the Jews have the tzitzit, that comes out of their hair, like curly kind of things. So the Druze have their mustache. They're very known to very, very proud, long mustaches, a little bit kind of monks, kind of the looks. And the Muslims, they know that. And they know that in order to humiliate the Druze, before they execute them, they shave their beard, which is just like the Nazis did to the Jews.
Interesting. And then, do we know what happened to that gentleman after this? Do we have any? Executed. He got executed.
Him and many others. I would say this. Could I share a personal story that explains this whole thing in the best way so the West can understand?
Of course, please.
And I'll do it very quick because I know we're running out of time. There was 3 genocidal attempts in the area of the Middle East in the last 2 years. And all 3 of them were stopped by Israel. First, Hamas came and tried to genocide all the Jews. They stopped them because Israel, the IDF, contained it. They would have if they could have. Their aim was to kill all the Jews. Second, Hezbollah wanted to do the same. Israel stopped them. Third was Iran. They wanted to nuke basically Israel. Israel stopped them from the genocidal plan. Now the fourth one is the Syrians came to genocide basically, or exterminate, ethnically cleanse the Druze. If the Druze men would have fallen down in their mountain, no one would have stopped the slaughter. They were moving house to house, murdering women, children, burning them, cutting their heads, putting it outside the doors as they moved to the next house. Terrible, terrible things. We saw in ISIS doing it. And then Israel intervened. Now, where does the story become personal? My relative, which I didn't know he existed until the Assad regime fell down, sent me a message and told me, Mansour, they're outside of our house right now. They're coming to kill us. I am here. He's a young man. I'm here. My father told me to protect the family. I don't know what to do. And I'm trying to talk to him, and then I lose contact. For 3 days, I don't hear from the guy. And I'm thinking the worst things possible. What happened to him? Only today, I heard from him. He sent me a message, and he told me, thank you, Israel. Thank you, the IDF. They came and they gathered us outside. And they started torturing us, investigating. They wanted to see if we have any weapons before they kill us. And just before they came to execute us, the fighter jets of Israel came roaring in the skies, and these jihadists got scared. Then some of their men managed to jump on, grab the weapons, and other Druze came to the village and fought and pushed them back. They managed to escape under the fire of tanks, artillery, and military drones that apparently were provided by Qatar and Turkey. They managed to escape the village, barely survived, only to come back a few days later after the IDF took care of these very satanic, evil, radical jihadists, to find that their houses were burned, looted. There's trucks, videos of Bedouins and jihadists driving with trucks full of chandeliers, crosses, everything that they can loot from. They usually melt these things from a church, from a khilwe, that's Israel, the Druze synagogue, from the houses. So Israel saved them. And then the world, what does the world come and say? Israel is attacking Syria. Israel goes out of its way.
Well, and so let me read you from Bibi Netanyahu. He said, I want to update you on what we've done in Syria and what we will do in Syria. We've set a clear policy, demilitarization of the area south of Damascus from the Golan Heights to Jabal al-Druze region. That's one red line. And then he explained that he was doing this to save the Druze. And he shares a story from Sheikh Mawafaq Tarif, the leader of the Druze community in Israel. He said it the following: during the Holocaust, when your people, the Jews, were being slaughtered, you cried out for help and no one came. Today, our people, the Druze, are being slaughtered and we are calling for the help of the state of Israel. And I said, he's right. We acted and we will continue to act as needed. So, I mean, he saved a genocide. I mean, I think that's fair to say in this instance.
100%.
And Mansour, just really quick, we've only got 45 seconds here. When the haters say that Bibi's just doing this because it's a land grab in the south part of Syria, what do you say? What do you say to that?
I say that's the silliest thing in the world. Israel has been engaged in war in 7 fronts for more than 600 days. We've depleted our army. Our soldiers are tired and exhausted. Do you really think we're going to go and look for another war in another foreign land to save people that are not citizens of Israel, not Jewish, from their own government that want to kill their own citizens? That is the dumbest thing in the world. Israel did that because they are doing the right thing, which is the call for Israel to be light for the nations. And I wish that America and other countries will do that to protect Christians around the world.
Yeah, amen. We need to be protecting the Christians in Syria. That's an absolute mandate.